Salve Omnes, and welcome back to the channel. The testing grounds for option selects Raider, Orochi and Shinobi have already concluded, and whilst attention is likely now focused on the new upcoming hero, I still want to share my thoughts regarding the recent TG and discuss what worked and what didn't, etc. It's important to keep discussions regarding game changes and hero balance, and this is an opportunity for me to give my feedback and say some things I sadly only thought of post-survey completion. As the video title implies, the discussion is about Orochi. I'm not going to go over Orochi's changes in great detail, but more or less mention them as I go on, so let's get started. Orochi is quite a notorious hero, quite a popular one with a lot of players and also the victim to many complaints. Some of Orochi's previous balance changes have been made in response to complaints, and while the testing grounds changes did improve the hero, it also quite cleverly did so while circumventing any future complaints regarding the one thing the hero gets labelled with. I'm of course talking about light spam. So let's get that big one out of the way first. Orochi has no light finisher within the context of the TG, and in its place Orochi can now confirm a combo light after all openers. This includes light and heavy opener, dodge attacks, side, forwards and riptide strike, storm rush and wind gust, Orochi's deflect. The new kick also nets a light attack, but this one counts as a combo light, so another light follow-up is not possible afterwards. So what does it all mean? Well, gameplay-wise, you already know how it works. You've all likely played and played against the hero. The behind-the-scenes reasoning, shall we say, is the fight team saying to the player base, Orochi's lights, except the neutral, are always confirmed should the player use that option. Orochi cannot light spam if the lights are confirmed to hit. Now, I'm not quoting anyone here, so this is my interpretation, but Orochi seems to be the source of complaint regarding light attacks, and seems to be the case frequently. Likely due to the popularity of the hero and high pick rate. Previous changes to the hero saw Orochi lose 400 milliseconds chain lights, after all, whilst other heroes retain them. It baffles me that these kind of complaints are still prominent given the live game version of Orochi is considered fairly weak and the CCU implemented ways to counter light spam. The same testing grounds even made Raider's 3-light chain on par with live game Orochi in terms of speed, so why Orochi gets saddled with the hate, I just don't know. So what does this have to do with the testing grounds changes? Well, the combo light has two issues. The first is that it inflates Orochi's damage, which makes a lot of options more rewarding than they should be. This actually becomes more of a problem in 4v4, as slip-through works very well with Orochi. Combo light, slip-through deflect is around 40 damage, with you mid-chain and able to implement a mix-up. Hurricane Blast wishes it was that good. The second issue with combos lights is that it really dumbs down the hero. Land a hit, claim your free light. This wouldn't be an issue if it functioned like Shaman's light openers, but it's on so many moves that your optimal options are always take the free damage and then cancel or heavy. However, speaking of the cancels, being able to dodge cancel almost all of your recoveries is wonderful and gives the hero more flow than what exists in the live game. Add the kick and forward dodge light into the equation and you have a good mix-up. Similarly, Storm Rush available from forwards dodge is a natural fit for the character, and whilst I would have liked to see the kick available from Storm Rush 2, it's hard to find faults with what it is in the testing grounds. The kick is really good too. The animation is a little snappy on Orochi's return to the ground, but it does the job well and it's nice to bolster the samurai's offensive capabilities. Dodge attacks now having the enhanced property is something the hero really benefits from too. It was far too easy in the live game to stop Orochi in his track by simply blocking. Whilst the light finisher is gone, Orochi in testing grounds really doesn't want to give his or her turn back to the opponent, much like Janhu, and this fits a much more aggressive playstyle compared to the live game's dependency on countering. However, it's already been said across the community, but having all these dodge attacks give a heavy parry reaction is too strong defensively, and takes away some of the risk that needs to be there, as Orochi, particularly in 1v1 engagements, seems to be geared towards a classic rushdown archetype, which I like quite a great deal. The last contentious point of discussion is the removal of Hurricane Blast, or the heavy deflect option. Practically, Hurricane Blast is a bad move. You gamble otherwise confirmed damage for a mix-up that arguably doesn't really benefit you. Whilst I myself don't ever see the need to use the move, and on a surface level agree with its removal, and it was nice to have the For Honor on Twitch back me up with this, I also didn't see the harm in keeping it. It does offer player expression, and if my opponent wants to take the gamble, then by all means let them. I guess the main reason people are unhappy it's gone is it looks really cool, and of course all those multi-deflect montages. Instead we have Wind Gust, but Wind Gust on steroids. The TG deflect now has armor and confirms a combo light, making it way better than Hurricane Blast could ever dream of being. I have to say I don't like giving the deflect armor. It makes makes it a little too safe for deflecting recklessly against heroes with armoured chains, something that should be considered as a risk by the player by utilising matchup knowledge. That and Hurricane Blast already did that as an option before. I realise that a lot of this sounds like I'm complaining too much, but I do like for the most part what got done to Orochi. The character does have some good offensive options now, and the flow of the hero is greatly improved. So to conclude, enhanced dodge attacks are welcome, but the heavy power reactions are not. The kick is a great addition. I think it wouldn't hurt to have it available from Storm Rush or a Sprint, but neither here or there. Dodge cancels are delightful, the exception being that it can't be done after a whiffed kick, something I agree with, but it's worth mentioning that Janhu can dodge cancel a whiffed bash, whereas Orochi cannot. Honestly, I think the Orochi way of removing a cancel from this option is the right way to go, and Janhu is a teeny bit too strong there. Combo light after kick should be a neutral light instead. The combo light in general is a bad inclusion on all openers and unnecessarily inflates damage whilst making the hero a bit too simple. In my opinion, a far better solution would be returning the triple light chain, but having the light finisher before 100 milliseconds, and have the combo light only available on light openers. The light finisher could have reduced damage to make players' dependency on it less rewarding, but still having it as an offensive option nonetheless. This would let Orochi throw lights for days given his mix-up options, but there is plenty of ways to counter a light attack happy playstyle, and I think it's time the devs trust players to adapt instead of catering changes to unnecessary complaints. Just because the hero is popular doesn't mean that the hero has to bear the brunt of an unnecessary change, lest we all fear the day Nusha gets a higher pick rate and players suddenly realise her light attacks are faster than Orochi's. Overall, the devs did a good job at making Orochi a rushdown offensive character. Unfortunately, the hero is a little too strong defensively in this iteration. With a better focus on attacking and lower damage, the hero can be a pure risk versus reward hero that can overwhelm unprepared opponents, which would make Orochi a truly dangerous hero in the right hands. Anyhow, that's my long-winded take on the hero. Good or bad, it's up to you. After all, this is just my opinion, and I welcome yours in the comments below. I'll leave you with the rest of the footage. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and see you in the next one. Ciao for now.
Lost Zone C. You captured Zone C. Victory!